Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another morning coffee talks. It's Thursday, and we having just another great morning here. Ah man, anything interesting happened? Not really, not really. I would say this: I had a mid-week date night, which was great. In Atlanta, they do certain events and stuff, and we was able to make it out to it. Me and my wife finally on a weeknight, but it was nice. So, but here we are back to the grind and just another day. Um, Leading into the video, the more and more I get older, man, it's just prevalent that as a man, as a husband, nobody cares about your excuses. They just don't. People only, for men in particular, they only care about results. And let's just be honest about it. The world doesn't offer men any sympathy, any. If you fail, people gonna move on. If you struggle, no one's coming to save you. The only thing that matters is whether or not you deliver as a man. So today, let's talk about why men need to stop making excuses and just start producing results. Because that really, as a society, that's really the only thing that the world cares about. And that's the only thing really that the world respects. Men, we're judged again by what we produce and not what we go through. So like when it comes to like women and kids, society they definitely give them a safety net, right? And I'm not talking about every corner of the world, but majority of the world, if you're a woman or a child, you pretty much will be okay. You kind of covered, like, but us as men, we produce that safety net for them. But for us, we don't have that safety net. Again, we don't have the sympathy for our struggles. We just expect us to perform regardless of the circumstances. And the way that the world values us is action results and the ability to be able to provide solutions, right? So, being that the world judges men by results, they respect men who can overcome challenges and not men who dwell on them, right? And again, women and kids, they often receive support and empathy. But when it comes to men, we definitely expect to handle it on our own, which is just the way it is. I don't think it's unfair because it's just the nature of how we build. It's the reality of things. And I think a lot of men, we've gotten soft where, we like to complain about it, but it's just the nature of things. Like, it's not going to change with you complaining, like, oh man, things are hard. It's always been hard for men. Like, if you lose your job as a man, people just expected you to find another one and just keep it moving, no excuse. No matter what the circumstances are in the economy, no matter if you're injured or something like that, like they still expect you to go to work. Like they don't understand that it may not be a situation where you really can like jump back to where let's say if you got injured or hurt, they don't care that you down and out a little bit. They're like, okay, well, how long it's gonna be before you get back right? I have a friend, man. He got injured in basketball, but dude still was. I think he tore his ACL or something like that, just playing like some pickup basketball. Listen. Nobody cared, bro. He like people was like, oh, that's messed up, but I can just tell like you still gotta do what you need to do because he got kids and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter what happens. People still expect you to go to work. They still expect you to get up and get out there, perform and go, hunt to kill and provide for the family. So if a husband can't perform or not perform, but provide, then his family, they gonna feel the consequences, regardless on what happened. Now, thank goodness nowadays that women can help out and create their own income. But when when you in a position of a husband, bro, it's again, no matter how much money your wife makes, no matter how much money your spouse makes, they still looking for you to show up, right? And again, the value from man, it often comes from like the strength, the reliability, and the ability to lead. That's just what it is. So when you get to a point where you like to make excuses, it's gonna destroy your credibility as a man. And a lot of times, I remember like when I was in a part of my journey, procrastination, making excuses, just not taking myself seriously. I could just tell that even for myself, I was tired of hearing it, you know? And the craziest part about it is nobody remembers your excuses. Nobody remember the reasons on what happened. They just remember your results. Like, did you overcome the challenges? Let me say that again. Right. Nobody remembers all the excuses, all the reasons you gave. They just remember the results. And constantly attempting to explain why, like, you failed or why something happened, it just, in the eyes of the rest of the world, it makes you look weak and unreliable. And as a man, as a husband, your reputation is built on you being consistent, you being disciplined, and just how you perform. Again, nobody cares about the excuses, man. So I say this: when you do face challenges and obstacles, just focus on the solution and not the excuses, right? You have to internalize and say, man, look, this is my responsibility. I just have to find a way to fix it. Because I'm telling you, nobody can, like the world, for men, there is no sympathy, right? Like, think about it at your job. Like, if you miss a deadline or something like that, I'm telling you, nobody cares about the reasons. Like, you might get away with one little excuse every blue moon, right? But even that's kind of like a sideways look at you. But again, they don't care about the reasons. They just care about the results, right? If your family's struggling financially, it's on you to find a way to provide, not try to justify or why things are hard and this and that. You have to provide and you have to protect. You have to show up with solutions, man. So a few things I could say again, I kind of gave a few examples on kind of focusing on the results and, getting rid of the excuses. Your mindset, I've always preached about mindset, right? Waiting for somebody to understand your struggles mentally, physically, it's only going to keep you stuck and the people around you not getting provided the things they need, right? Again, owning your circumstances, owning your actions is taking action, right? That mindset. And listen, it's not easy. Every successful man, they're gonna face some setbacks. But the difference is you have to keep moving. And I think, and this was one of my problems, like when I first was attempting to lose weight, I always forgot that the line was a linear line, right? And it's like kind of like the stock market. Over time, it's always went up, but when you scale out, you see that it's a line that always went up. But if you scale in, zoom in, you'll see it kind of up and down and stuff like that. And that's kind of how it was for my weight loss. Like, now looking at it, if I look at it week to week, I'm like, man, it don't really look like sometimes like it's doing anything. But when I scale back, it's like, wow, you look at the line, it's totally down from where it was, 75 pounds or whatever. And it's the same thing with setbacks. You may be looking at it just right up front on you. You look like you really failed. But if you zoom out on the line, the scale, you really have came a long way. And you can't forget that. And it's so easy to get caught up in that. And that's where a lot of men get lost. They think that because it's a tough week or a tough day, or they're going through a tough period, that's their whole life. But again, when you scale back X amount of years of your life, you really have the line has really went up. You just looking at it too far in the detail, and you're looking at the line going down. So don't forget to zoom out sometimes and look at the full picture of where you've came, right? And this is going to be the difference again from you facing your setbacks and your successes. So I always say, man, push yourself to build discipline and self-resilience. And it comes from, again, showing up every day, even when it's hard. You have to create a standard for yourself and have certain things in your life, certain daily habits, and the way you move as certain non-negotiables, right? Again, when it comes to taking care of yourself, when it comes to attempting to save money, investments, reading, like just personal growth, you have to raise the standard on yourself, because that's going to help you when it comes to setbacks and different things that you come across. And again, zooming out, it'll help you measure your results too as well. And so overall, I feel that when it comes to your excuses, it'd be easier to get out of that mind state, because again, nobody cares anyway. As a man, you don't get that sympathy when it comes to the world respecting you. They just expect you to deliver. So just remember that when you caught up in those situations and you feel like, man, I'm being a failure, you really not. You just got to zoom out a little bit and remember that, hey man, overall I'm actually going up. So I can always remember I can produce, but it might just be a period of time where I may be going through something and it may just look like failure, but it's not. But just remember that, don't get stuck in that, because again, nobody cares. The world doesn't care. You get no sympathy. So drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe as well. And hit the like button if you got any value from this video. And if you like these videos, hit that notification bell, because we're dropping these videos like this every single day. And until next time, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.